Hey guys, it's Clay at CPAP My Way, CPAPMyWay.com. Today I'm here to discuss your top CPAP options for 2025. In this video, we're going to feature the 4 that we would recommend, and we're going to go over the pros and cons of each, like size, weight, how loud are they, options for compliance reporting, all the apps that can go along with them, anything that might make it useful or less useful to you, we're going to cover in this video. So if you're a person looking for a replacement CPAP machine for maybe one that's gotten old or broken, or if you're a person that's getting started on CPAP for the first time, this is going to be a great video for you. As you can see, we've got 4 options here. Just starting on the outsides, we've got the Luna G3, the Luna 2, the AirSense 11, and the AirSense 10. Currently, these are the offerings. You'll probably notice that there is no Philips Respironics version here. They are still, I think, on the naughty list with the FDA, so they don't have anything out right now. We are looking forward to hopefully eventually them getting themselves together and introducing a new CPAP machine, but they've assured me that there's no reason to put one in this video because they've got nothing coming out anytime soon. So we're going to go with the React Health models, which is the 2 and the G3, and the ResMed models, which is the AirSense 11 and the AirSense 10. All of these have pretty unique features that make them more or less useful to you, and they're all going to have different price points. So I'm going to start off with just a cumulative review of like size, weight, and the things that you're going to notice physically about these machines while they're all together and you can see them together. And then I'm going to go into some details on each unit. We're going to try them on, let you see on a decibel meter what kind of noise they're making and how they all work with the standard mask. I'm going to use this AirTouch N30i that I've got in here back on each of these machines just to get a feel for what they sound like and how they operate. If you're looking for a real deep dive on any of these machines, we have every single video you could imagine for each one of these machines, from clinical menu navigation to patient menu navigation, setup, operation, maintenance, all that. Those will be in the description below. In addition, there'll be a cumulative review page where you can access all these machines in the description below. If you enjoy the info, we really appreciate the thumbs up. Comment with any questions, especially if you've got experience, good or bad, with any of these. And as always, subscribe for more content like this. So let's get right in. All right, so let's start on the outside and work our way in here. This is the Luna 2 by React Health. This unit's been around for a while. It's really reliable. You'll notice it's a little larger than the others. Dimensionally, it's going to come in at 11 by 7 by about 4 inches tall. It's going to weigh about 4 pounds. And one unique feature you're going to see on this versus the rest of them is it has a top-facing display. So if you're sitting in bed, you're not going to be able to look over and see a front-facing display. It's all top-facing on this one. Has the built-in heated humidifier on the side. So overall, dimensionally and weight-wise, it's going to be the larger option of all 4 of these. All right, so that's the Luna 2. I'm just going to jump from to the outside since we started with React. Let's stick with React for a second. This is the newer version of that. This is the Luna G3. You'll notice in looking at it, it has a front-facing display and menu navigation. This unit is dimensionally 10.4 inches by 7.5 inches by about 4.5 inches tall. So it's slightly smaller footprint than the Luna 2, and it has a slightly lower weight at 3.75 pounds. So it's going to be a little easier to take along with you if you're going on a trip. You'll also notice it has the built-in heated humidifier with the water chamber on the side. A lot of people love that they can actually fill the chamber while it's still attached to the machine. That is unique to this particular model for sure. And with the front-facing display, it's definitely a bit more modern than the Luna 2 option. All right, the next one we're going to look at is the ResMed AirSense 10. So this is going to be slightly smaller and slightly lighter than the Luna G3. It is the older model of the ResMed, right? Because we also have the 11 to look at here in a second. This one's been out for a long time. It's been very reliable. A lot of people love it. It also has the built-in heated humidifier on the side here, front-facing display as we discussed. Dimensionally, this one's going to be 10 by 4.6 by 5.9. And it's going to weigh only 2.75 pounds. So it is the second lightest option available. This one's been around a long time. A lot of people like it because it's super reliable. And obviously when you're buying ResMed, you're definitely buying quality. This one has been a long-term CPAP for a lot of people, and while it's still available, it may be a great option for you. The last one we're going to take a look at here is the ResMed AirSense 11. Obviously you can tell as looking with all of these side by side, this is your smallest option. Dimensionally, it's 10.2 by 4.6 by 3.7, and it only weighs 2.5 pounds. It has the front-facing display, and it is the only touchscreen display available, currently available on the market, that is. Built-in heated humidifier on the side here, and a very small, sleek design. So if you're looking for the smallest thing you could possibly get on your nightstand, or for maybe travel purposes, this one may be the option for you. All right, so that is all of these in a nutshell from a 30,000 foot view. What I'm gonna do now is kind of break each of them down individually with pros and cons, and then we're gonna try them on all with the same mask so you can get a feel for what they sound like. And then we can go over some of the things I like and dislike about each model, and some things that we've gotten feedback-wise from some of the customers. So let's jump into that part. All right, so let's take a little deeper dive on the AirSense 11 here. Keep in mind that we've got a full detailed review on this. I'll link it here above. If you really wanna watch the nitty gritty on this thing, we do have that available for you. But as far as an overview goes in comparison, the one thing you're gonna notice right off the rip is that it is a touchscreen menu navigation, right? So if you're looking for modern design touchscreen, this is definitely gonna be the one. Obviously, we talked about it being the smallest and the lightest, but in addition to that, it has some of the best features and auto algorithm available. Most people are going on auto CPAP these days, so a comfortable auto CPAP, auto titrating algorithm is really a big thing, especially for new users, right? So if it's adjusting to you in a comfortable way, you're gonna have a much easier time acclimating to CPAP. And this ResMed AirSense 11 is definitely the premium in that regard. The other big thing you're gonna really enjoy with this is the two different ways that it has connectivity. So it has a built-in cellular modem that's going to automatically relay your data back to your provider and or your doctor. You can disable that by putting it in airplane mode. If you just don't want to share data, that's perfectly fine. But if you need compliance reports or you need good connectivity to your doctor for adjustments, this is going to be the model for that. It can upload and download, so it's really seamless. We can even do a quick function test on it from our website. So if you bought one from us, you don't think something's right, we can log into the back end, do a quick function test on it, and make sure everything's actually performing right. In some cases, we found that a machine is disabled, and then right from there, we can do a quick RMA and get the thing replaced for you, which is really nice. These machines share a lot of data. The other thing is it has Bluetooth. So we do have some people that travel in areas with no cell reception, and they still need compliance reportings. For instance, we have some tugboat captains. Obviously, they don't always have connectivity to cell service, but because they do have Wi-Fi on their ships and out like the oil rigs or wherever they're at, they can connect this and we can still get their data and pull it and send it, which is a nice feature about these machines. As far as the downsides to the 11, if you're paying out of pocket, this one's gonna be the most expensive because it is the latest and greatest, and as with latest and greatest, you're gonna pay a little bit more. It's not dramatically more in my opinion, and I think it's probably worth the cost, but that's something you'll have to factor into your own life and budget, of course. And then there's a couple of other things. I'm gonna tell you one thing. My wife uses this unit, just so you know, and so I sleep beside one every single night. And it will go through like a little function test thing, maybe 20, 30 minutes after you first turn it off. And I woke up to that the other day with that. It's just running like a quick pressure test or something on the device so that it can make sure everything's functioning correctly. It's a little bit annoying to me. When she turns that off, I'm a light sleeper and it'll wake me up in the middle of the night. And well, usually not in the middle of the night, but early in the morning. And I typically have a hard time going back to sleep. So my opinion as the bed partner on this is that is one little thing that bothered me a little bit. I wish it would wait like an hour or two at least after the machine's turned off, because not everybody turns the machine off at 8 o'clock, right? She's notorious for taking it off early. That is a real nitpicky thing, but I at least wanted to tell you because it is a personal experience I've got. Two other things that people have pointed out is what they would kind of term as maybe a quality or just an issue overall. The first thing is the water chamber can sometimes be difficult to line up just right. Sometimes it'll I don't know which seal it is inside of there that pinches or gets off, but you'll go to turn the machine on and it'll make a really loud noise of air leaking, even though you got the mask on and everything. 9 times out of 10, that is the water chamber. You got to pull it out, reset it. Not a big deal, but it is something that has happened to me, even in demonstrations with people, and for sure, some customer feedback has reported that to us. The other thing I do want to point out is it does have this little filter housing on the back here, which is really easy to break off. So if you're not being rough with it, it's probably going to be just fine, but I know that I've broken a couple off in demonstrations, but I am kind of known for not being gentle with things, so that's probably really on me more than it is the machine, but it is something I wanted to point out. That is something you may have to replace here and there. And that water chamber issue can be a little funky from time to time. All right, so now we're just gonna do a quick demo on it. I'm gonna put it on with this AirTouch N30i. It's their newest mask, so we figured we'd demo that here as well. I'm gonna give you a little decibel meter. I'm doing it by the machine because remember, this is a machine video, not a mask video. So we're gonna get the sound level from the machine. And then I've also got a little meter over here telling me how many watts it's using for you electrical nerds out there. So you can determine whatever you need to determine off of that. So I'll feature that here as well. All right, so let's try it on. So it's hovered somewhere in the upper 30s, lower 40s on decibels at a setting of 10. Yeah, let's take a look at the volts. All right, hopefully that'll give you a nice little overview on the 11. We're gonna go ahead and jump over to the 10 and run through the specs on that one. All right, so the next one up is the older version of the ResMed CPAP. This is the AirSense 10. It's been around for years and years and has had a great track record of longevity and functionality. It's quiet, it works well, and you're definitely not gonna leave anything functionality-wise on the table by going with this particular model. One thing that is a difference between the, well, I should say a couple of things that are different between the 11 and the 10. You have the old-fashioned knob and dial and click functionality here with the menu navigation, so it is not touch screen. Additionally, it only has a cell modem inside, so if it doesn't have cellular reception, it's not going to relay the data. If that's something that's a deal breaker for you, then you're going to want to go with the 11 that has the Bluetooth connectivity as well. Obviously, it has the front-facing display, and that'll make it nice when you're you know, waking up in the middle of the night wanting to look at something on the bedside. It also has a really nice auto set titrating auto CPAP algorithm, so it is extremely comfortable. It adjusts to you very effectively, but without causing the issues that a lot of new users dislike about pressure kind of raising and going up and down uncomfortably. It's definitely a very good first-timers CPAP machine. This one also features a built-in heated humidifier that slides in and out of the side. Easy to maintain, easy to use, and also very reliable. Filters on the side of this one instead of the back like the others. And overall, it's a really good looking machine. It's a little heavier and a little larger than the 11, so if that's a deal breaker, you definitely want to go with the 11. And it's not the latest, right? So it's not the latest model. You're going with one that's been around a while and obviously has a good track record. But as with anything, you know, they'll phase parts out eventually and things like that, and you'll almost be forced at some point to go to a new model. So you are definitely going with the older model. All right, so let's try this thing on. I'll get you an idea of what it sounds like, and then we'll get you some electrical specifications as well. All right, again, this one's set at a setting of 10. And I should have pointed this out about the 11, but all of them have the tube connection in the back of the machine. What we've got hooked up today on all of these is going to be a standard slim style tubing, which is a 15 millimeter, just for the sake of them all being the same noise level and things like that. But the 11 and the 10 both have a heated tube option. The only one that's not going to have the heated tube option when we get to it is the Luna 2. All right, let's put this on and fire it up here. All right, so this one's running kind of upper 30s, lower 40s, similar to the 11. Yeah, these are the Curtis Watson's pulling. All right, so hopefully that'll give you a nice rundown on that. I did fail to mention on the 11 and the 10, they both have the My Air app, which if you're a person that likes to track your sleep data and know what's going on with your health, it is a premium application, and it does a really good job of sending you reports daily on how both of these machines are functioning, and it sends you those automatically. Obviously, this one through the cell modem that relays to the cloud, this one through either Bluetooth or cell modem, which is built into it. All right, next up here is the Luna G3 by React Health. This is another really good model. You're gonna notice it's very similar to the AirSense 10, just slightly larger. Heated humidifier chamber on the side here. Front-facing display with a little dial and turn, the dial and click menu operation. And it's got a similar setup. Tube connects on the back. It does have a heated tube available, but it does have like a kind of a little bit of an awkward separate plug. I'd encourage you on all of these, if you're kind of leaning towards one, go down to the description, click on the really detailed review videos. They're going to go into a lot more detail on these units, and it'll really help you make that final decision as to what might work best for you. So some things about this particular unit: it is really reliable. It's also really quiet. We'll show you on the decibel meter here shortly, but it is a great functioning unit. It's quiet, it's reliable, it works well, and you really don't have anything lacking operationally. Where I do think it comes up a little bit short is the app integration. While it does have the cell modem and it can relay data back to us, I'm not going to call the app high functioning. It does have one where you can scan QR codes, get some daily downloads, and it'll give you some good information. It's just not quite as user-friendly as the My Air app, but it does have that integrated cell modem. So if you're looking for compliance reporting, it definitely will do a great job of relaying the data back to your provider and to your doctor. So if data and tracking and all that kind of stuff isn't your thing, this unit's a little bit more affordable, and it probably will do just as good a job as anything else out there. All right, so let's hook this thing up to the same mask. It's set at a pressure of 10, and we will get a decibel reading as well as an electrical reading on it. This was running about that upper 30s, lower 40s as well. So definitely still just as quiet as the others. And as far as the electrical goes here, so yeah, I don't think you're going to have anything lacking here as far as operation and sound and durability. This is a good unit, and it's probably going to save you a little bit of money if you're paying out of pocket. It's usually a little bit cheaper than the ResMed models. It's going to be a little bit bulkier, going to be a little bit heavier, but overall, not dramatically. All right, the final model we're going to look at here is the Luna 2 from React Health. This one's obviously going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, and it weighs a decent bit more than the rest of them, so it's probably not the greatest for travel or for people with limited nightstand real estate. If you're already having trouble finding a place to put your cell phone on the nightstand, this probably isn't going to help with that much. The unit, just like the rest of them, has a built-in heated humidifier with the tray that slides in and out of the front. For some people, they really like the fact that they pull in and out of the front. Tubing plugs in on the back of the machine. It does not have a heated tubing option available. One thing I should have pointed out on all of them is that the ResMed units both have disposable filters, so you're going to toss them after 2 to 4 weeks and put in a new one. The Luna 2 and the G3 both have washable foam filters that go into like a little filter housing in the back, and you just rinse those out once a week. They're good for 6 months or so. So that is one important feature difference on all of these. I will say that this one is the only one with a top-facing display. It's definitely not a pro in most scenarios. It does have a dial menu navigation here. The menu navigation can be a little bit confusing, to be honest, and I would call it a bit rudimentary. Once you get used to it, it's no big deal, and really, once you get everything dialed in, it's pretty much just turn it on and turn it off, a few minor adjustments, maybe with humidity here and there throughout the year. So that may not be a big deal to you at all. It is the most affordable by far, so this one you're going to definitely be able to get at a much lower cost than the others, but it's been around for a while, and I'm not certain how much longer they'll continue selling it. And probably at that point, it can get a little more difficult to find parts and pieces as they begin to phase those kind of things out. So keep that in mind. It may not be the best long-term solution as far as the CPAP selection goes. One of the downside to it, it has pretty much no connectivity at all. You can download an app and scan a QR code here to get a report, and I think it will actually upload your data to the cloud as well through that. They used to have a few functions that allowed you to call in like an iCode and things like that. That's gotten really complicated. It used to also allow you to upload your own data. Can't do that anymore. So if you're a person that really needs simple and complete compliance reports for a job or for following up with a doctor, this may not be the best option for you either. Aside from those downsides, I'm going to tell you honestly, it's super reliable. We have had so few issues with this. We would not have any qualms about selling you one and being worried about your satisfaction over the long haul with performance. It's also pretty darn quiet. So really you're not going to lack anything in durability or in sound level. Where you're really going to fall short is probably on the size, dimension, and then some of the functionality things and menu navigation. Definitely not as good as the other models that we have available. So let's fire it up with the same mask and get you an idea of what it sounds like, and then get you some information on the electrical usage as well. Sound-wise, it's pretty well on par with the other options. You know, that upper 30s, sometimes lower 40s on inhale and exhale. At a setting of 10, all of them were set exactly the same. All right, so that's the Luna 2. All right, so in conclusion, I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown of the overview on these. All of them are pretty much going to be the same as far as longevity, maintenance, sound level, operation. They're pretty darn similar, right? On and off, adjust humidity, ramp time, fill your water chambers. That's all about the same. Where you're going to get some differences is for sure on these two, you've got way better data. You got a way better app. So if you're a person that needs compliance reports, needs to be able to see what's going on with your CPAP usage and wants good details, these two are probably going to be the best option for you. Additionally, if you're looking for the smallest, lightest, latest, greatest of those, the ResMed's going to, the AirSense 11 is going to be the best option. If you're looking something cost effective, you're probably going to want to go one of the Luna options. The Luna G3 is just as modern as any of the others. It doesn't quite have the best app available, but it's great for sound, longevity. It reports well, so you can get compliance data. If you're just looking for the bare bones, cheapest option, that's going to be your Luna 2. It's bigger, it's a little bulkier, it doesn't have nearly the features or the accessories available for it, but it's going to give you CPAP therapy. And it's going to do it quietly, effectively, and it's not going to have any problems over the long hauls. So hopefully you found that information handy. If you did, we really appreciate the thumbs up. Remember, there's going to be a detailed link. Hopefully throughout the video I can remember to put those links in there for you. And I will definitely have the links to all the detailed videos in the description below so that you can watch details on any of these ones that you wanted a little better breakdown on. And as always, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you.